Good evening, everybody. It is Wednesday night, time for a special edition of Thrifty Business. I'm your one host, Jason Thrifts, and look who's finally back. Yay!
I'm glad to be back. I hope I remember everything.
And good to see everybody who got the notice that we were on tonight. And, if you are in the chat and you don't see your friend who's normally there, go hit them up real quick on Facebook. Let them know it's happening tonight. Now, if you do watch this on if you show up on Thursday night, we will not be live, but you will be watching this after the fact. That's cool too. Now, if you do watch after the fact, and you got a question for Anna, pop it in down below, and then Anna and I will hold hands this weekend, and we'll get those answered too. So, and we'll skip through a daisy-filled field. But speaking of, let's introduce our guest since we just talked about her. Now it's time for Jay's Tiki Talk. Each week, I drink a different rum out of a different tiki mug and try and match it up to my guest. And our guest is back. The one, the only, the biggest, most awesome nerd I know, Anna Hill. How are you? And I say that lovingly because Anna gets giddy about tax law changes. You're the only person I know who's like, ooh, new tax laws.
I love all of the things, and I'm so glad to be here.
Now, if you're new, if you're newish to the channel and you haven't seen Anna before, Anna is a CPA, but the most non-boring CPA you will ever meet. Anna is very effervescent and a shitload of fun. And so when you think of CPAs, you think of like Ferris Bueller's teacher. Anna is very far from that. So, all right. So each week I match up my rum and my mug, as I said. The rum's pretty easy because I have this amazing rum from Georgia called Richland Rum.
Yes. Oh, that sounds good.
Anna lives in Georgia. But the mug is going to be a contest. Now, I go shopping at the world's most badass record store all the time, and every single time I buy so much, they give me a free one of their cloth bags and give music. So I have a ton of these laying around. So I thought, time to give away some prizes. So this is the prize tonight. I will ship it to you. Here's the question. I'm about to show the mug. You got to tell me why it matches up to Anna in this show tonight. Okay? So the mug is made by an artist named Van Tiki, V-A-N. The mug is called Zombie Lobotomy. How bitchin' is this mug? And on the bottom, you can see his brains. And so that's the mug. How in the world does it match up to Anna and tonight?
I could not figure it out.
That's the question. Yeah, Debbie couldn't figure it out. So I'll be oh, I forgot. Yes, Becky is a CPA and she's not boring either. No, you're not, Becky. So I know two CPAs who are not boring. Thank you. Isn't that a cool mug? Okay, brainy gal is what Debbie said, and that's kind of right, but that's not the answer. I mean, yes, Anna is a brainy gal, but that is not the answer. The answer actually has nothing to do with brains. Although I do like this one, taxes make people want to have a lobotomy.
I thought about that one too.
Because zombies are dead, death and taxes. Nope.
You are a creative group.
After you do your taxes. So all good responses, but no. And so we're going to put Anna in timeout for a few minutes. And Debbie and I are only doing scores and duds tonight. So we're not doing shipping and all the rest because we want to get back to Anna and get your questions answered right away. So I'll let you guys ruminate on it for a little bit. We're going to let Anna catch her breath because she just ran in the door 32 seconds ago. So Anna, if you need to grab a drink, pee, you got 15 minutes probably. All right. So we'll see you in 15. All right, Deb, what do you got? What are you drinking?
Oh, I am in a hotel, so I don't have a tiki mug, but I have Johnny Rockets, which is also in Atlanta. So I made an Atlanta Johnny Rockets, and I have
I like it.
And I'm drinking electric lemonade from Fat Tuesdays.
Nice. No, she was not a Walking Dead extra, but another good guess. No one's from California.
Oh, this is gonna be fun.
So, all right. So let's get into the scores.
I am.
I'll let you guys think about it. I hope someone figures it out because I would like to get the prize away. And now it's time for our scores of the week. These are the items that you should be on the lookout for when you're out thrifting.
All right. Plush, $42. I was so excited. This was probably from my profit pile at one time. But we sold it for the $42. And I think we paid like $1 for it. So keep looking for plush.
Zombie Wedding, that was last week's guest.
Yeah.
So, that actually would have been good, but this reason's even better. Nice little cute plushie.
Yes. And ice skates. We usually pick these up. Sometimes kids. This is an adult. Oops, I lost my notes here. We accepted an offer for $70. And I can't remember. Sorry, I didn't print out my notes. So I paid $19.99, which nice. I'm kind of like, oh. But Bill goes, wouldn't you pay $19.99? And we had it at $129. So yeah, we checked the blades and different things. That's kind of Bill's.
Is Bill your picture taker on these?
Yeah.
Yes. All right. So the next time, one boot forward and one boot this way. Show all the when you have two of the exact same product, usually shoes or salt and pepper shakers, turn one.
Yes.
Especially in your first shot. Because A, you'll show a lot more. It'll fill the square up nice. And B, we know our customers rarely get past picture one. So show them the blade in the first picture by just turning one the other way.
Good idea.
Yep. Walking Dead is filmed around Georgia, but has nothing to do with Walking Dead. But good guesses. Very good guesses.
This must be a crazy answer.
Oh, what is this? I didn't even notice this when I put it up. What is this fun little machine? What's that do?
It's a knitting machine. Paid $10 for it at the thrift store, and it was still sealed. And so I did my due diligence. I checked solds and everything, and it sold pretty quickly. So $59.
Two of Jason's favorite things. So what are the two? Anna and zombies, or rum and Anna, or rum and zombies? That's a no, but I'd like to know what two you were thinking of, John.
They got some great answers. Oh, we have a friend that goes out looking for things for him, and we find stuff for us. So he gave us this for free, and we sold it for $29.99. Kansas City Chiefs.
Now, what's funny is April said she had a knitting machine, loved it when she was growing up. I never even seen that. I didn't even know that thing existed till right now. So talk about something that was.
Style. There's another style too that's more popular that I've never seen this one before, but there is another one we've sold for like $29.99. So look for knitting machines. Aww.
All right. All suddenly, Together woke up. I sold 4 things in 2 days on Together. Haven't sold anything in like 3 months. And one of them was this nativity set, Bumpkin's nativity set. And I was missing a wise man or the shepherd. I was missing the shepherd. And I still sold for $37 plus shipping. Oh, Tiki mugs and CPAs with personality.
Nice. Well,
I never would have guessed that those were the 2 things that you were going for. So Michelle says she didn't know that about people don't get past pick one. Michelle, you've never had a question from a customer who your pictures answer that question, and you got to tell them, did you look at all the pictures? You've never had that happen. You are a lucky seller if that's never happened to you. Can I see the shoelaces? Did you get the picture too? Because that's where they are. That always happens. All right. DVD. Walt. No, she was not. She was not with me when I bought the mug, but good guess on that. The Walt Disney Treasures used to command a lot more money. They've dropped a little bit, but still $70 for a DVD is not bad. And I pay $15.
Nice.
Okay, we have shown a lot of glass slag rock because my boy Cletus found them. And let me tell you, this is the most boring color one we have. This brown is just not exciting because we've had some gorgeous blues and aquamarines and greens and just brown. But someone needed this brown for $73. I don't know if Anna listens to Rob Zombie, but that isn't it. But good guess. I do like all the guesses so far. I do want to give the prize away. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you saw me tease this earlier. This is the best Tiki mug I have ever sold. Yes, your eyes do not deceive you. I sold this mug. It was listed for 5 hours on eBay, and I sold it for $1,055.
Wow. Somebody's getting a good Christmas present.
$1,055. I want that to sink in, because if you have not looked for Tiki mugs yet, I hope this gets you excited to go look for them, because there are $1,000 mugs out there, and I buy and sell them all the time. Should not buy me the mug, and their website has nothing to do with taxes. There we go. At least John's mind is blown. Now, for those of you in the Secret Beach, I was thinking about it.
Oh, yeah.
This sale is 10 lessons in one. And so it's going to be my webinar for December, and it's going to be called How Big Are Your Balls? I'm just going to leave it at that. It's a little tease for you Secret Beachcombers. Yeah, that's the thing. I didn't pay...
This reminds me of Valentine's.
I didn't pay a Peggy quarter. I did pay a handsome fee for it, but I knew it was still underpriced. So when I say how big are your balls, I paid $600 for the mug. But when all the smoke cleared, in my pocket, $330 profit. And that's why it's called How Big Are Your Balls? All right.
I could have said something.
You know, it's funny. A lot of people have said that when I posted it. They're like, it looks like the monster from, looks like Gossamer. All right.
To me, it looks like Heart Valentine's Day.
To the admins, it looked like a scrotum.
Oh, see, that's why I guess I didn't like it. My husband liked it. I go, I don't like that mug for some reason.
Okay, so I told you I went a couple weeks ago to a garage sale by a famous DJ that none of you know, probably, DJ Shadow. And everyone, DJ Shadow was selling his excess music that he has thrifted. So not his stuff, but other people's stuff, obviously. But then there's always a bin of his stuff. And I went through the line twice, and I was the only one to buy his stuff at first. I probably should have bought more. And what I do is I buy his stuff and I ask him to sign it, and he signs it. So these were $15 each. And then you have him sign it, and you sell on eBay for $100 each.
Whoa.
And a buddy was with me, the one who owns the record store that was on a couple weeks ago. I said, here's what people don't pay attention to. So I bought a bunch. We went and grabbed a burger, came back, and then people started buying his stuff and having him autograph it because they saw me do it.
Oh, you're such a teacher.
That's how you take a $15 record and turn it into a $100 record.
At least I'm in Reno, Nevada with family.
Boom, boom, boom. We have a winner. This mug is worth $600. And the title of the show tonight is Don't You Worry About That New Thick $600 Threshold.
Oh my gosh, that's brilliant.
Yes. So Pear Tree Finds, if you could please message me on Facebook, and I know who this is, but I always forget. Message me and I will send you the amoeba bag. But good job thinking outside the box. Stacy goes, do you really want to drink out of a $600 mug? I'm like, I bought them, might as well. Yep, that is a $600 Tiki mug, and I think I paid $150 for it.
Oh, good. Making a profit there.
And now we go from flipping cassettes to flipping CDs. Well, this ain't mine, so my gosh, Deb, what is this?
We found this at a thrift store. It went through one Christmas already. No names of people or anything. It was like a one-of-a-kind type thing. 13 people on Discogs want this. 4 own it. We probably should have put it on auction, but no one bought it at $149. So we got an offer for $70. And I was like, no. But then my husband told me the story. And if it's true, the buyer said, my husband was in this band and he wrote one or two of the songs. And the producer, nobody has a copy of it. And so they wanted our copy for $70. And my heart was like, okay, you can buy it for $70. We paid like $1 for it.
Look, that's great. I have found T-shirts in thrift stores of events my friends threw. So not anything huge or big. And I would take a picture and send it to them. And I've left the thrift store and they were like, shit, I never kept one of the shirts from the event. Are you still there? And so now anytime I see a friend's thing like that, I always grab it because like that person said to you, we never kept any, you know? All right. So here we go. CDs for me this week. We have talked about, and in the flipping CDs classes, the soundtracks to video games can usually do quite well. Here's The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess in a cardboard sleeve. I paid $10 and sold it for $35.
Nice.
Okay, Puffy Amayumi. I love them.
Nice.
Stacy does not. Too funny. Yeah, nice. I mean, talk about that weird timing. They are a Japanese duo that plays ukuleles and they sing phonetically. And they have a great Christmas album that drives Stacy insane when I play it. But I'll be busting out very soon since we're in the holidays. But look, $6 into $45.
Nice.
Hey, did I just mention soundtracks to video games? How about Donkey Kong 64? Picked it up for $4 and sold it for $48. Now, this sat on Amazon for 2.5 years. I felt like Debbie. And I moved it to eBay, and it was listed for less than a week. And it sold. So you just got to find the right platform.
So is that a soundtrack from the game or from a movie?
Yeah, from the game. So it's the
soundtrack from the game.
That kind of stuff.
Oh yeah.
All right, I love you some surf music.
It's
It's the second music you would listen to in a tiki bar, Exotica being the first, surf being the second. I buy a lot. I end up with a lot of doubles because I forget which ones we own. So this was one of those. Paid $15, sold it for $50. And oops, and oops. Hold please. Am I forgetting something?
Hey, wait! Hold up! Don't forget about me!
Whoops! Now it's time for Stacy's budget bin scores. See the little SS we write on the price tag? Stacy pulled this out of the dollar bin. It is an Andre Bocelli CD that has sold a ton of copies, so normally wouldn't be worth a lot, but two things were different. A, it was sealed, and B, it was the Spanish version. And I had it up for maybe 2 days on Amazon. Stacy's $1 turned into $40 on Amazon.
Good job, girlfriend. Awesome.
Yes, Michelle, I do cross list some of my items, not all of my items. Hey, there she is. Yes. Yeah, I told her that sold, but I forgot to tell her it was her find. She's just finding out right now. So she knows it's sold, but I forgot to tell her.
Good, because she wants the money from it.
Yeah. All right, but not everything is good as Stacy's find.
Okay, this is one of those.
And now it's time for our duds of the week. Do not let our mistakes be yours.
Your banner says, okay, we're back. Oh, now where are we? Okay.
Oops.
Okay, okay. So anyway, this coffee mug was listed since 2017. So for $10, finally paid $1. Sandra Boyton used to be a great coffee mug to pick up, but I think the prices have come down. So still check them, but do check your solds to make sure, because as you can see, I had it for $18 since 2017. Finally sold for $10.
Kind of long as about that CD I had up.
Yeah, and then this little bowl. So let's see. That was since 2018. I bought a whole set, and this was the very last piece to go, and finally accepted an offer of $8. So it sat around for a while too, but everything else of that set sold, and we did very well with it.
All right, so for mine, it's here in my hand, and it's a super duper dud because this is at least the 12th time this has happened to me. So if you watched Stacy and I's surprise thrift haul, you saw me share this Robert Graham shirt from Buffalo Exchange. So today was a day where I'm clipping off all the price tags. I'm loading in inventory and getting it ready for my assistants to take pictures of. But I can't with this one because the damn store thing is still on it.
Oh, no.
This is at least the 12th time I've had to take a shirt or something back to Buffalo Exchange and go, take this off. And I always forget to check. And apparently they forget to check, so I can't do anything with the shirt until I get back up to the store and have them.
And apparently it doesn't work because it doesn't bleep when you go out the door with it.
Yeah, no kidding. It don't work.
12 times you've walked out the door with one of those?
Yeah,
and they've never known.
I just can't believe the amount of times I've had to go back and say, can you take this off, please?
Maybe they don't really have the system. It's just there to fake people out so they don't steal it.
Yeah. I never even thought about that. Look at you thinking all like a criminal.
It's been a while. I've had all this stored up in my head.
And now it's time for You Have Got to Be Shipping Me. What to do and what not to do when it comes to shipping. All right, here's our last segment. Oops, I'm up first. Okay, Debbie, I'm going to quiz you on music. Ready?
Uh-oh. Okay.
Tell me the two biggest facts about the Jeff Healy band.
1, I don't know anything about him. And 2, I've never heard of him.
3, you've probably seen a movie in him, and that's the one fact. All right, chat. All right, nerds, music nerds. Tell me the 2 big facts about the Jeff Healy band. And the reason I wanted to share this, because A, it's going to Lisbon or Lisboa in Spanish, Portugal, which I'm not sure I've ever shipped anything to Lisbon before. But I just taught my teenager about the Jeff Healy band 3 days ago. And then we sold this CD. I'm like, too weird. The universe is very weird. Yep. He is a blind guitar player, and he's the house band in the movie Roadhouse with Patrick Swayze.
Oh, now see, I have watched that movie. I didn't like it, but
he's the guy. He's the blind guitar player in the movie. But it's so weird that I taught her all about. Yeah, he passed away a long time ago. All about Jeff Healy, because she's a singer in a band, and then like 2 days later she has to ship a Jeff Healy CD. I'm like, universe, you're crazy.
Universe is smart, though, really. Okay.
Christmas tiki mugs.
Yes, Sipping Santa, which is getting ready to start again. I already have my reservation at Jungle Bird. Went to the UK. I like what Jason says. Someone in London needed this. Beach Bun Berries, Santa, Sipping Santa. So we drink for free when we buy mugs and sell them. We didn't drink out of this one, but we have one.
Very good. I love seeing tiki mugs go all over the world. Okay, just a little housekeeping, then we'll get Anna right in here, and I got all kinds of things to ask her to jump us off. Okay, Secret Beachcombers. We got kind of like a weird twofer, a different kind of typhoon for this month. It'll be this Saturday, like in 4 days. This Saturday, 5 p.m. 8 p.m. East Coast, 5 p.m. West Coast. That is Debbie's brother doing this behind her head, Rob, and he buys, collects, trades, sells comic books like I do tiki mugs. And so he's got the knowledge to go find big lots of them, pick them up, but he does not have the time nor the patience, I think, to sell online. No. And so Debbie and Bill sell online for him. So instead of an actual like presentation, like go buy this, Rob's going to talk about comics, and then Debbie and Bill are going to talk about selling for someone on consignment. And also it gets tricky when it's a relative, because relatives think usually all their shit's worth way more than it is. So that'll be this Saturday, 5 o'clock on the West Coast, and Debbie's going to be leading the charge. Okay, Mom's really going to be back this week. I don't think she's running off to any other tiki bars. So we will be talking 8 tracks on Sunday, normal time, 7 p.m. East Coast, 4 p.m. West Coast. And so no shows next week because of Thanksgiving. And if you've known me for a year, you know every Thanksgiving Day weekend, I take off for LA and San Francisco, and I buy all the good Christmas music to resell. And then lately, or last couple of years in the Secret Beach, I catch everyone up in the Secret Beach of what's hot and what's not this Christmas in CDs. So we're rolling back in on the 29th. And so on the 30th, I will have a full presentation for you. So that is Tuesday night, the 30th, 8 p.m. East Coast, 5 p.m. West Coast. There's already things that are not hot anymore that used to be hot. And there's new things that are hot. So I'm going to give you all the updates. So then you guys can go to your local record stores and go through the Christmas section and pull out all the good stuff.
Kind of true, Linda. But this one's unusual because, you know, it was his idea. They work together very closely. So.
All right. So let's do it. Let's get our guest in here. And now it's time for the Thrifty Business Special Guest of the Week. Boom. That's how you do it. Let's get real answers and facts about the new $600 threshold. But I do like everyone's guesses. You all have some great creative guesses tonight. So please, our winner, send me your mailing address and I will mail you out the amoeba bag. Hello, Anna. How the heck are you?
Hey, everyone. I'm great. I'm excited to be here. I have my own mug right here that we're going to talk about.
That doesn't look tiki to me.
Well, I don't know. I see chinoiserie and I see zombies, pterodactyls. Oh, look at that. Pirate ships.
And that mug tells a story, Deb.
Zombies.
It looks like something
meet you where you are. I'm trying to meet you where you are.
From a grandma's china cabinet, but
it's not. kind of like Jason. He looks like someone sweet that grandma would like to talk to, but he's not.
Oh yeah, he is.
So Todd, real quick, you'll be in SoCal starting Wednesday. Hit me up for a hangout. So when we go do this shopping, there is no time. It is mad dash sun up to sundown of buying stuff until we collapse into the hotel. So next time for sure. But yeah, when we do this endeavor, it is just go, 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 go. Unless you're in Anaheim on Thursday night, we will be at Trader Sam's for cocktails.
Ooh, I can't wait to get back down there one of these days.
All right. So Anna, for those who don't know you, how long have you been a CPA?
Well, a woman never divulges her age, but I will say I have been a CPA for at least 20 years, licensed.
So you're not new to this?
No, I'm not new to this. I have been around for a long time. And, Jason, I appreciate our relationship and talking about what's important for our community to understand about accounting without being scared is really important to me.
Thank you.
And scared is a big thing. And the one thing, and I've said it a million times, I'm going to say it again. When Debbie and I, for instance, give you, hey, go find this plush elephant, go find this Tiki mug. If you buy it, and it's not the $600 mug, if you buy it and you don't make as much as we did, the only thing that bad happened to you is you didn't make as much money.
Right.
Okay? If I tell you how to do your taxes and you don't do them, or you follow me and it's wrong, you could end up in jail. None of them. No. Let me scare them.
Okay.
Because look, none of the mobsters, the famous mobsters who ended up in jail, none of them ended up in jail because they could prove they killed somebody. They always got them for tax evasion. Always. That's how they got mobsters. And so I don't ever want to give you that advice or let other non-professionals give you that advice, because that's horrible. The amount of people who listen to advice from strangers who have an avatar of a little bunny on Facebook is just mind-numbing. I'm like, who is that person giving you advice? Why are you like, oh, good, I'll write this down? What? Who are they? This is the real deal. Oops. This is the real deal. Boom.
Yes. She's our goddess, our Tiki, our tax goddess.
Oh, I love that, the tax goddess. I have some friends who refer to me as Sugar Debit.
Oh, I like that. So Brian is our resident comedian in the chat. How many years have you done it unlicensed?
Zero.
Good answer.
All right, so we're going to get to y'all's questions in a minute. So don't send them in just yet, because I want to go through a post in another group, because it's like the universe went, here, Jason, I give you this. Because the post starts with, thanks a lot, Congress. Used to be 10,000. Now the limit is 600. And so, the original poster is wrong because the threshold was 20,000, not 10,000. But the first question, Anna, is really, is there any difference right now, other than we're going to get a few more 1099s?
There is not a difference, but I think what, from a sort of a procedural standpoint, there's not a difference. But what the actual difference is now, people who maybe looked away and didn't do taxes have to do it. So there is a difference. There shouldn't be, but there is. And that's important to acknowledge.
So the big thing is people have this anger now, thinking that, what I've seen in the past is the threshold was 20,000. When you get the 1099K, just because you went to 19,000 doesn't mean you shouldn't be claiming that on your taxes.
Right.
And I've seen people in the past stop selling for the year when they hit like 19,500. And I'm just thinking, how dumb of a business model is that? Hey, I'm being successful, I'm going to pause.
Well, you're right. People have done that. And I think that a lot of times people get into this business to try to make a little extra money. Hey, I'm going to flip these things I already have. And so they're incensed and frustrated that they actually have to pay taxes on the difference. But that's the reality. I know, I'm a wet blanket.
So let's back up since Angelique's got a question here. My question has to do with being an LLC, sole proprietor, etc. So I need to find a good CPA and attorney. I have three things: a good attorney, a good CPA. She's right here. And I have a good tax preparer. And my tax preparer works well with my CPA. And yeah. So for those of you who don't know, my books have always been a mess, although I always reported my income. And Anna knew that. And so one time Anna was in town with one of her employees, and they came over to my office, and for 8 straight hours, they got my shit straight and said, okay, we're friends. That's a gift. Here you go. And then you're going to pay me this much every year to keep your shit straight from now on. And I said, happily.
Worth it. So worth it.
Happily.
Well, and I think a lot of people are really surprised to find out that paying a professional to do it is really not that horrible. I mean, everyone's selling things online as a professional. You're a professional because you know what to buy at Goodwill. You know what to buy at a thrift store. You've done the research. You've done the listings. And it's kind of that idea. You need to be a professional because you are a professional. And, you know, like Jason said, having all of these people in your roster is really important, but you don't pay them every day. It's just like a one-time-a-year thing. And it's an incredible investment in peace of mind.
That's right.
And Debbie, do you pay your taxes?
Oh, yeah. This is the first year for a long time we've actually did it ourselves. We had an enrolled agent that was doing our taxes for us. And I told Bill, we can do this. So we used one of those online services. And so far, no one's come knocking at our door. But yeah, we always have. I mean, I started selling in 2002. I didn't right away, but I quickly caught on that I need to. Yes.
And the reason I asked that is because, Anna, you know what's shocking to me?
What?
Since this change of the threshold, which really doesn't change our lives at all, really, the amount of people who have admitted to not paying taxes online next to their name is mind-boggling. Hi, IRS. Yeah, I haven't paid taxes in 10 years. I mean, what in the... That tells me how dumb a lot of resellers are, because why would you put that in writing next to your face and your name?
Well, at least they didn't say, Jason said.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yes.
So I'm going to review a couple things from this post in this other group. Well, shit, it's not even worth doing it anymore. What? I make a very nice living hustling my ass off. And I had my best year selling ever last year. And in my 22 years, and I wanted to be increased this year by 10% over last year, and I'm up 22%. So I love selling and making money.
That's kind of like saying I'm not going to go to work because they're going to take money out of my pay rate, and I'm going to get the W-2 and all my taxes and withholding and all that. It's just kind of the same thing. You're going to have to pay taxes when you work for someone else. Well,
and I think that you have to think about your business as a way to meet your personal financial goals. Do you want to have flexibility? Do you want to work for yourself? Do you want to be able to spend the time that you want in your business? And if those things are important to you, then this is a business for you.
Yes. And you get those tax write-offs. And, there are benefits to it on that side of it, too.
Absolutely.
Now, this woman is giving tax advice to this group because her dad is a tax attorney.
Okay. Bring it on.
Stacy's dad's a lawyer. I don't see her giving legal advice to anybody.
No.
Hey, my dad's a surgeon. Here's how I'm going to open your brain. No. The dad was there. Sure. No problem. Here's the thing that also people get so mad about and confused. They think income tax and sales tax are the same thing. And that's where people lose their mind, Anna, because they're like, I already paid tax on it once. Well, I got to pay tax on it again. I've seen that written maybe 10,000 times.
I know, I have to. And we could sit here and explain what income tax is versus sales tax. But the bottom line is one you have to worry about and one you don't. There you go.
This other person says, getting screwed every which way. Look, this hasn't changed a damn thing other than you will get a few more pieces of paper probably virtual from some of the websites, but it doesn't change. Anna, has anything changed in how you do my taxes and my books?
No, not a thing.
Exactly.
Not a thing. I'm still peppering you for things. I'm still
I know. I was really slow this past quarter.
No.
All right, Paul's got a good question. Very simple question. What's the difference between a CPA and a tax person?
Well, I don't know how you define a tax person.
Well, I think Linda has a little bit more specific. Why do you have an accountant and a tax preparer? So why do I have you and why do I have my tax preparer?
Okay. So a CPA, like me, certified professional accountant, I'm licensed by my state. I can practice in all of the states in the entire country. And although I'm licensed through the state of Georgia, what I do is I create reconciled financials on a monthly basis or quarterly basis. So everything that happens, and let's just use Jason as the example, everything that happens in his business is in his books. The bank accounts, the credit cards, everything, inventory, the works. It's all recorded. And then he takes that and gives that to his tax preparer. And then she puts it in her software, does her magic. She does things like the home office deduction, the mileage deduction, the non-tax cash, the non-cash tax transactions that are part of the tax return, his personal information. So the entire tax picture of the Smith family is done. I'm just doing the small business part. So when you ask, why do you need an accountant and a tax preparer? An accountant will do the business part. The tax preparer does the entire picture.
And through both of them, you and her, in the last 2 years, I have become an S corp because it was actually more financially beneficial to me. Now, we're not going to go down that rabbit hole because I still don't even 100% understand it. But when we said, okay, just show me the damn numbers. If I become an S corp, what happens? And then if this happens, it'll be better for you in the long run for your taxes. That's where my tax preparer sits down and goes, okay, Stacy doing this and you're doing this and blah, 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 blah. Ta-da. But in the past, before Anna joined me and helping me with my business, I would get my stuff together on my way, which on April 1st, I'd be like, and I go crazy doing it. And then I'd get there and I would still have missing like 12 things. My tax preparer, look, you forgot these 12 things last year too. But this time now, Anna just has all the paperwork ready to go. And it's so worth the money I pay her to just be like, here, thank you.
And when she has questions, who answers them? Me.
Yep.
Me.
Great question from Nay.
We're here. Answer.
Yes, we're in her office. Can you please help? Great question from Nay. If you're going to go get a CPA, how do you know if they're good? Because let me tell you, in any profession, there's shitty CPAs or shitty doctors or shitty lawyers. How do you know you're a good one like Anna?
Well, thank you. Nobody can measure up to me, but that's a really good question. And what I would suggest is when you're talking to a professional, make sure that they're licensed, because there are plenty of people who do accounting and do books that aren't licensed professionals. I'm not judging those who aren't licensed. You make your own decision. But if you want a licensed professional, make sure they're licensed. Get their CPA number. Look it up on the state site. Make sure they have professional liability insurance. Ask all of the questions. And then you can even ask them, hey, potential CPA, what is it that I should be asking you? What is it that I need to know? If someone asked me that, what I would say is, ask me if I understand how to do accounting for an inventory-based business.
And that was a new client texting you right this second.
Oh, yay.
Okay, so everyone thinks I said escort. Did Jason say he became an escort? Jason's Thrifty Escort Service. Sorry, I sometimes mumble. S Corp. S corporations. Typically, the smaller sellers won't ever need that, but I also have income from a variety of other places too. And so all that together, we decided that that was the way to go to end up actually saving some money. So, yep, Anna gets it teed up. Yeah. She's basically, when you play T-ball, she's basically the tube.
Yeah, well, absolutely. And then when your tax preparer has questions, she asks me, and usually it's Stacy, Anna, I need to talk to you.
Oh.
So true.
But that's the whole thing. I'm doing the underlying details of the return, and that's what the services are for. And then Jason takes those and says, here's my stuff. And then it's done.
All right. So I want you to listen to this. All of you to listen to this. This is from that post in the other group. Once you take out the shipping fee, the site fee, time that took to create the listing, cost of item you sold, you might be making enough for about one grocery trip and maybe fill your gas tank once with inflation. But yes, let's pay taxes to the government from it now too. What's the point of bothering at all? That person is not cut out to be a reseller.
Correct.
Because we all got to go to the grocery store. We all got to put gas in our tank. But if you do it well, and the overall theme too, Anna, well, I'm selling things at a loss. What the F are you doing that for?
Oh, yeah.
That about 100 people said it on that post. And what they're saying is they're taking, they got a little chubby in COVID and these jeans don't fit no more. So they're selling them at a loss. And I'm like, oh, so someone's trying to point out, okay, you didn't make income on that. So you're not going to pay tax on that, but you need to put it all together. But also, why waste time selling things that you're losing money on? What is the point of that? I don't even I can't even fathom that. All right, great question.
Even if it's free, even if it was free to you.
So what about Social Security? How does making money on eBay affect Social Security?
Not touching that with a 10-foot pole. That is something that an individual needs to discuss with their CPA that they've hired to help them with that. And that's a great question.
Very great, because it's going to affect a lot of people.
So is disability the same kind of thing you don't want to touch because you don't want to lead anybody astray? So if you're getting disability, people are, you can't make a lot of money if you're getting disability.
Correct.
Well, and here's the thing. I am your CPA, but I'm not the world's CPA.
Right.
So there you go. It would be irresponsible for me to even address that.
But you just telling them where to go get the answer is a great help.
Yes.
They're thinking
absolutely.
about it and you're telling them.
Well, and I think that people ask these questions because it's scary stuff. And they think, oh, I don't want to have to pay someone to tell me this. But when someone makes a poor decision and then they end up jeopardizing benefits that they have, sometimes you have to invest a little bit. But I will say the Social Security office and the disability office, they have employees that are very, very helpful and knowledgeable. So start there.
Do you have to keep specific costs of each item or total all the purchases against all the sales?
Well, you can total the purchases against the sales for a calendar year. You won't know monthly how you've performed, but when it comes time for your tax return, if you've just done an annual assessment, as Tina with the Lake Exchange has described, that's appropriate. Here's
the best part about being successful.
I like how she phrased that.
And having Anna do my books. She does them quarterly. So there's always a little back and forth we have to do after she gets all the information, like what's this new payout, what's this new income, blah, 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 blah. And then as of the last couple of years, Anna's like, okay, your quarter's ready. You're doing so good. It's like when you have a kid and they poop on the potty for the first time and mom's clapping. That's how Anna is with my books. She's like, oh my God, you're doing so good. And I got to tell you, it feels amazing when your CPA goes, good for you. I love it. I love when you're like, oh, you look so nice.
So good. Well, I always tease my clients. I'm actually an unlicensed therapist. That is actually what I do. Don't turn me in.
And hand holder.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Any recommended apps that you know of to track mileage and scan receipts?
There's so many different ones. I mean, I could give examples, but what I suggest, go in my Facebook group and search and see what people have recommended. Some people want to scan with their phone. Some people want to scan with the electronic scanner. So just check out my group and see what others recommend.
Let's show your group real quick. Anna's Good Time Fun Bags group.
Anna's Accounting Emporium of Fun.
I had Anna when Anna was new to the group. She was the only admin. I said, hey, smart thing to do, make me an admin, and that way, just in case that you're asleep in a concert or something and shit goes sideways, if I'm around, I can take care of it. And so early morning, I haven't even rubbed my eyes open yet. I'm adding all kinds of people to my group, and then I back up and I go, "Oh shit! I just added them to Anna's group." Right away, I'm like, "Hey, the last 12 people, I didn't mean to add them to your group, so you might want to double check because they look good for my group, but it wasn't in my group."
Well,
okay, so go ahead, Anna.
What's so funny is the 2 times you've had to intervene have been when I've been on a plane and didn't have a connection.
Yep. Yeah, the good thing is, and her group is pretty low maintenance, but people come in who look legit, and then all suddenly spam starts. You got to get that crap out of your group right away. And so if she's on a plane, I am happy to lend a quick hand to get it out of the way. So here it is, accounting. We will go free group, and if you want to be a nerd about accounting, this is the group you want to be in.
Nice.
So at what point,
or if you just want to be able to have a resource before you're spending money on a CPA, come to the group, ask questions, search. This isn't free accounting. This is resource and research for you before you go work with a CPA, or as you're working with a CPA. We get questions all the time. Hey, my CPA said this. What do you think? And these are good conversations as professionals that we're having.
At what point do you think a reseller should have a CPA?
I love this question. Here's what I recommend. Make sure that you understand how much time you're spending on your business, and then calculate what your hourly rate is, and then determine, I am making for myself $25 an hour, $50 an hour, whatever. Figure out what you're spending on that person. Do you need to buy time? Is it better to pay that person to do this for you versus you doing yourself? Having said that, I'm a big believer in every person having a CPA do their taxes for them. I know not everyone's going to do that. People have argued with me, well, I don't make that much, and so I can do it myself. It's very simple. I don't judge, but as a professional, I believe everyone should hire a CPA.
And Deb, the big reason to have your CPA and your tax preparer is they know the ins and outs to make the money most beneficial for you that you and I don't know.
Get more back.
Yeah. Because, you can do the online stuff. Like if you got a job where you just get a paycheck and you don't have tips and you don't, nothing else,
right?
All your own taxes. It's super easy nowadays. But
I will say we saved about $200, but we almost got divorced.
Money, marriage, I don't know.
Just joking, but yeah, we were at each other, and we try. If we're doing it ourselves, my goal, and I never do it, is at the end of each month have a paper. This is what everything. So that at the end, December 31st, I add up my 12 sheets of paper, but I haven't done it yet because we use spreadsheets and things. And like I said, we had an enrolled agent for several years, and so we learned a lot from him. So yeah. My biggest question is, do you, or you may not do it, but my enrolled agent said he would go to court with us if we got audited. So that was worth it. And then we didn't use him this last year. The year before, we had an issue that scared us. It kind of messed us up with him. And I thought maybe, okay. So they are humans, and you have to know too, you got to pay attention. But some of them will, if you get audited, that's scary. And some of them will be there.
It's scary, but in a way it's not, because if you have accurate paperwork, they're not the IRS isn't coming after people to be like this mean thing. Normally when someone is audited, it's because there are red flags. Now the IRS does do just random audits. Sometimes it's just rotten luck. But I tell people all the time, if you have proper accounting and proper records, if you get audited, zero big deal, zero. I know it's scary. No one likes to get the letter, but they're not trying to, this isn't some nefarious thing. And so I think it's great to work with someone that says they'll go to court with you if the IRS is involved, but the chances of that happening are very, 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 very small.
Okay.
That's good. All right. So Linda's question starts, not to get too personal, and then of course it gets personal.
Oh, we love it. We love it.
When someone says long story short, it ain't never short. Does Anna do all the books for you, including business, real estate stuff, and investments, etc., or is that just the business stuff? That's just the business stuff. Stacy takes care of the rest.
Yes, but it is.
I do nothing but suck my thumb, and I am not kidding.
It is Team Stacy Anna.
Yeah, because this is the one part of the business that I'm like, I don't like this one. So I can kick ass at every other part of this business. I can teach you all everything. But when it comes to this part and investments and like even our personal insurance, Thank God for Stacy. For many other reasons too. But she understands it all.
Yeah.
I don't. I never will. When we had doggies, and we will again in the future, if I went to the vet and she wasn't on FaceTime with me or there with me, and I come back home and I go, the dog has to take these pills, and she says why, I go, I don't know.
The vet said.
The vet said.
Very true, Kevin.
All right. So back to this other post. Well, go ahead. I'll answer after you answer, Anna.
I came in late. Must we have a reseller's license? Jason, I think you're probably more qualified to answer that than me.
I have no reseller's license. So
I have one with the city of Vacaville. That's with my city. I have to have a license because I'm doing business in my city, and it's $65 a year. So I do have that one, but
shit, maybe there is one for Henderson. I just admitted live on YouTube I don't have one. Uh-oh. But I've been doing this for a long time. I've never had one. So
I don't even know how I found out, but I do have one.
So back to the post. Here's another reply to this genius post. Well, this confuses me. If I buy $1,000 worth of merchandise but sell it at a loss for $500, do I pay taxes on the $500? A, stop reselling. You suck. If you're buying $1,000 worth of merchandise and you sell it for $500, you're horrible. Get out of this business.
Wrong.
But then someone tried to explain, well, you didn't make profit, so you would not be taxed because there's no profit to tax. But you have to prove all of that by keeping records, right, Anna?
Yes, and we're not gonna judge those who make a bad purchase. It's happened to everyone.
Oh yeah. I mean, but that's why I share normal duds. I'm like, I spent $7 on the CD and I sold it for $6. That's not good.
I want to know sometime what your worst dud is, but that's a whole other discussion.
What was my worst dud? Well, I bought some big collections that at the end I'm like, the time involved wasn't worth it, even though the money seems like it was. But you got to figure your time into your, like you said, what's your hour worth to you? And so when I buy 6,000 records and I lose our dining room in our 2-bedroom condo for a year, and then I think about all the time spent, I'm like, that wasn't a good purchase. That was a dud.
Well, and you're right, not to get too off track, but my husband sells action figures and he likes to buy lots. I call it a kit, but it's a lot. And what he's learned is, as you look at something, oh, this is great. He's Googled all the things. So I'm going to make $1 zillion. And then when it shows up, maybe it smells like cigarettes. It's not wrapped properly. It takes, 5 weeks to get here instead of 1 week. So there's a lot of factors involved when making a purchase.
So I want to go back on my city license. When he said reseller license, I have a reseller permit. And maybe, I don't know if that's what he meant, with the city, with the state of California for sales tax. I was paying sales tax before all this, everybody started collecting them. When I was doing Amazon, FBA and everything, I myself out of my own pocket was paying sometimes $300 a year to be current with my sales tax, because I've been told a sales tax audit is an IRS audit is a cakewalk compared to a sales tax audit. So I learned really quickly, they can find me. Someone in California, they wanted to, they could sign up, buy something from me. When they weren't charged sales tax from me, they could come after me. And they are the nicest people at my sales tax office, my local one. They got all these computers set up. I can do it pretty much. Well, now that eBay's taking care of it, all the platforms, that's a huge thing. But I still have to file. I still have to fill out a form and do it all. And I'm always calling them, and they're so helpful. So that could be what that customer, that question was about. Are you talking sales tax permit? Are you talking license with your city? What kind of reseller's license are you asking about?
Well, and there's a term, sometimes it's called a SALT person, sales and local tax. So you have a CPA who does taxes. You have a CPA who does the underlying accounting, like what I do. Then you have a SALT person who does the state and local taxes. So it's very nuanced. And sometimes people say, can't I just hire one person to do all of the things? And you can, certainly. But it's a little bit like going to the doctor and you have a general practitioner, then you have a heart specialist and a knee specialist. And you know what, we're in business, and part of doing business is hiring professionals. Having said that, I understand that not everyone has the budget or patience to hire a professional. I'm not here judging at all, even though I'd love to wave my magic accounting wand and say everyone has a CPA. That's not always the case. please, please, please be sure if you're doing things yourself that you understand what you're doing and don't take risks at all. It's just not worth it.
Yeah.
And I think, to me, that's why it's good to have two, Anna and my tax preparer, because also, not to say Anna's bad at all what she does, but maybe there's an angle that my tax preparer who lives in Nevada knows better. And she goes, okay, we're going to do this based on, here's Anna's stuff, but we live in Nevada, so this is going to happen. Right. And so it's kind of like a check. To me, it's like a checks and balances kind of thing. So, but again, I just sit there and suck my thumb, and Stacy controls the whole meeting. So, just talking. But
you were smart to think about it. You were smart to think about it, to hire Anna. You knew what, you were smart enough to do that part.
No,
and
well, I was smart enough to become friends with Anna, and Anna was sweet enough to say, all right, as she rolls up her sleeve, we're going to get your shit straight, and then you're going to pay me. Like a drug dealer, first taste for free, now you got to pay.
Oh my gosh.
Well, you know what? We're kind of joking about this, but I think what Jason's talking about is something I really appreciate. We have a personal relationship, and then we have a professional relationship, and we have very clean boundaries with that. So, yeah, my husband and I have traveled with Jason and Stacy. It's wonderful. But then we also have this business relationship, and it's just give me your stuff now. But that's very different. And so when you're working with someone, a lot of times people say, oh, my neighbor does taxes, or someone at my church does taxes. Great. Just keep the relationships clean.
So Ben and Rebecca, aka Traveling Salvation, live and work out of a motorhome. So do they get to write off the entire motorhome as their office?
And I'm going to sound like a broken record. Great question for your CPA. That gets very complicated.
And I'm going to guess, too, it might be also based on where you're at.
Yes.
Where you are, and then also, how long have you been in business? Are you making net income? And actually, someone asked earlier, and I think we kind of skipped over it, what if I have a loss? And then we're all kind of like, ha, 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 they have a loss. But you talk about a hobby versus a business, and a hobby is defined by the IRS very specifically. And so here's a good example. Gambling is a hobby. You can actually deduct your gambling losses, but only to the extent of earnings. Sorry. So that comes into play, but then there's like a several year threshold, and it gets complicated.
So let me ask you kind of a general question about the motorhome thing. If you have no permanent address and you're just roaming the entire country, where are you beholden to this? What state are you beholden to for taxes and stuff like that? If you're just roaming around like a gypsy, not the Traveling Salvations or gypsies. I'm just saying, if you're just like, today I'm in Montana, tomorrow I'm in Florida, next week I'm in Idaho.
It depends on how much you've made in each state. Another example of that is professional athletes. I used to work in a CPA firm, and one of my colleagues in the firm, the only work he did was for professional athletes. So I'm in Atlanta, and the Atlanta Braves, they're playing in Atlanta. Where else are they playing? All over the country. So if you make a certain amount of money in other states, then you have something called economic nexus. And so the IRS has defined economic nexus, and they say if you've made X, Y, and Z with these parameters, then you're paying blah, blah, blah. Again, it gets complicated.
Well, I never thought about pro sports teams, Deb. They're right. And then some of the sports, they make money in two different countries too.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Even
holy
as a CPA,
crap, that's got to be complicated.
Well, even as a CPA, when I traveled and I did consulting work, I would go in other states, and so I would make money in other states. So there was this economic nexus. So I had to file returns in other states. Now, the business that I work for, the company I work for, did the returns for all the CPAs, but it was just that complicated. They're like, hey, CPAs, don't even do your own return. It's complicated. We'll do it for you.
Well, here's my husband and I. My husband just became an RV inspector certified, and he can do some repairs. So I said, okay, we have to have an LLC. We will not touch someone's RV without an LLC and insurance. Then I thought, well, originally we thought maybe we'll go full time and live in an RV and work across the country and fix people's stuff. And I thought,
like
wait
gypsies.
a minute. Yeah. And I thought, wait, do we have to have an LLC in every state? Because we're in different states, just like you were talking about the athletes. And everybody thinks my brother thinks you're nuts. And I'm like, no, I'm not. I have to know the answer to this. We just formed an LLC in the state of California for our RV business that we're just starting. But my brain went down that road because I bet a lot of people are traveling across the country not realizing they may get sued. You know, they could be in a state that they don't have an LLC in and get into trouble. So yeah, a CPA. You're convincing me we're going to need to get ourselves a CPA. We had an enroll agent. Maybe we'll get a CPA now too. Just
Let
because.
me introduce you to one, Anna. Debbie, Anna.
Oh, yeah.
Except I don't do that kind of work, but thank you.
Yeah.
Well, but there's a point because not all CPAs do all of the things. I know it sounds so magical, but we don't do all of the things.
No, that's good because that gives us confidence that you know what you can answer our questions. We can trust you better that way.
Thank you.
So you can, if I'm not mistaken, you can get an LLC through do it yourself, kind of the things online. I do pay a lawyer to do it because let me tell you, it is so much nicer and easier for me to just walk into his office once a year and hand him a check and he takes care of all the bullshit. I'm like, cool. Again, I'm like, yeah, my time's more valuable doing other things. I'll just pay my lawyer to do that. And then I never have to think about it. Things change. He takes care of whatever. I don't have to do any of that. That's what I pay him for.
I was going to do it ourselves, but I came across we're paying $37 a month to a company that did it. They've already filed. They've paid our fees, and we just pay them. At the end of 12 months, we'll have paid them all. And then you're using their what is it called? Enrolled agent or somebody where our legal mail is going to go. So there are options out there when you start exploring. And but yeah, have somebody doing things for you. I didn't have to worry. Did I do it right? Now we have an LLC formed now.
All right. So Linda's full of questions tonight. Okay,
yeah,
Linda,
they're good.
do you have a class or program for us to learn how to keep good records?
Okay. Let me read Miss Linda's question carefully. I actually do have a course. And it is about what is that? What is that?
The ding?
Yeah.
Sorry, it's me. No, it's me.
Oh, it was Debbie?
I thought it was like a fairy. Ring.
No, sorry. I just fixed it.
Yes, I do have a course and it helps you understand how to do your accounting in QuickBooks. You do not necessarily need to go to that level of detail, but it is an option and I recommend it, especially if you're a more advanced business making at least $10,000, $20,000. This is a good way to consider doing your accounting. You can take a look. This is not about me trying to sell a class, though, so I'm feeling a little bit reluctant to discuss it.
No. Look, hey, that's quite all right. Look, you are so
That's
nice.
why we're here, Anna. That's why we're here.
To come on this, you've done webinars in the Secret Beach. And so, heck yeah, if you got a class that people want to buy, go for it.
But you can take a look at the course and there's actually some free samples so that you can see what it is that you're going to get if you decide to purchase it.
Linda said that ding was her calling you.
I love Miss Linda.
Look, I know you're on the show right now, but could you answer the phone, please?
I need the class.
All right. The other thing I see in this post, in this other group, that people talk about all the time, someone will get indignant and go, so I suppose I got to pay taxes on the things I sold in my garage sale. And the fact is what? You do.
You sure do.
Uh-huh. Just because you don't doesn't mean you don't. Look, two things. Ignorance of the law is never a defense.
Right.
But also, if you get caught, you just can't be like, hey, all those other cars are speeding. You got caught, So should you? Yeah. Do any of us do it? Probably not.
Did some of us give up giving garage sales because it's too much work?
Garage sales are not easy if you do it right. There is a skill set to throwing a successful garage sale. I'm really good at it thanks to my mom and dad. They taught me well. But it is not just open the garage and hope. There's a lot of, you can, but you're not going to sell nearly as much. There is a skill set to it.
Well, and there's weather and the signs, and you go to Home Depot and buy the little stickers that are labeled with prices that aren't really the real prices, and I don't know. It's voodoo witchcraft to me.
Yeah, I want to go to them.
I love shopping at yard sales. It's a lot of fun.
Yes, exactly.
My Lord, how many times are we going to beat this dead horse? Was one of the replies. Look, taxes, it's not fun. No one likes paying them, whether it's income tax, sales tax. Are you about to tell me you like paying taxes?
I like discussing it.
Oh yeah. But taxes fund.
No, we don't like paying them. I don't like paying them myself.
No, but taxes fund the things we need that we don't ever think about until we need them. Roads, cops, firemen, things like that.
Library. Yes.
Debbie Debbie's in a hotel that has my mom's Wi-Fi all of a sudden.
Oh, sorry, everybody.
Most of us source at yard sales and we don't get the receipts. How do you keep records on what is Anna's advice? I know you need to write it down and make your own receipt, essentially. I'm guessing you won't have anything more than that, Anna?
Well, the only thing I want to add is what the IRS expects is a consistent, diligent effort. People stress about this so much, and it's because they don't want to get it wrong. But you know what? If you want to take a quick pic with your phone that has the date and say what you spent on it, great. If you want a spreadsheet, great. If you want to wing it, great. Be consistent and diligent about it.
So the one nice thing about having an LLC, then you go get your bank account with your LLC, you get your credit cards with your name on your LLC. And at that level, it makes Anna's job super simple because I'm not commingling business funds and personal funds. Everything is in its own account. Now, if you're a small seller, you're probably not going to do that. Excuse me. But if you're going to keep taking this to the next level and the next level and the next level, get to that point quicker. Because let me tell you, back in the early days when it was all one account, you were like, okay, what was this business or was this personal? Because I buy mugs to resell and I buy mugs to keep. So that was always chaos. But now with my business credit cards, my business checking account, all my LLC, it's super easy because Anna just works on those accounts, not my personal accounts, because there's no need for her to be in the personal accounts because I am diligent in using the correct credit card to pay for the business stuff.
And Stacy makes sure that happens.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. You know, she always, as I'm paying for things, she's like, okay, that's the business. That's personal. Make sure. Yes, dear. Yes, dear.
Now, Anna, are these services we pay you, the CPA, whoever we pay, they're tax write-off, right?
They are. So it's a legitimate business expense.
Okay. So that helps.
How about if I took a client to a strip club? Is that a tax write-off?
Is that a question?
Like a sex club in Amsterdam or something?
I just told that story last night, matter of fact.
Oh, are you telling?
No, and actually, this is a good question because a deductible business expense is ordinary and necessary. So, is a strip club ordinary and necessary? Don't answer, Jason.
If you live in Vegas,
I said.
If you live in Vacaville, no. If you live in Vegas.
But also a really, really good piece of advice that I'd like to give everyone. Please make sure you have a separate business account from your personal account. That doesn't mean that you need to set up a business account per the bank's definition. Please just have separate accounts. One account is business and one is personal. You just invite question when you commingle funds, and don't do that. That's something really free that you can help yourself. Another thing that I wanted to talk about, and I'll make it quick because I know we're late on time. I told Jason when we were warming up for the show, if you have a friend who has a situation, please don't panic. The IRS really is not out to try to cause people trouble and pain. They just want to be paid. They want to be paid. So if you find yourself or your friend in a situation, you know, you can get someone who specializes working with the IRS to help you. But there's also something called the Taxpayers Advocacy Office. And it's an office within the IRS. And you call them and you say, hey, I'm a taxpayer. I have a problem. I haven't done what I'm supposed to. I know I'm behind. I'm just realizing it. Life got in the way, whatever. And they will help you work with the IRS to resolve the issue. Don't avoid paying because you're afraid. There are solutions. And also, if you find out that you have this huge tax bill that you weren't expecting, yay, because you made money, but boo, because now you have expense, the IRS will actually work with you to do a payment plan. So there's a lot of options. Don't run away from it because you're afraid. There's no judgment. These things happen. You're business owners, and there are resources. And I really want people to know that.
Yay, that's so good because people do worry. And, you know, it's one of those things where you should be cognizant of what you're doing in your taxes, but don't worry every day that, oh my God, I'm gonna get audited.
No.
Because in my groups and in other groups especially, I see a lot of people write posts, what if? And it's a waste of time to go do what ifs all day long. Because here's the what if. What if you're going to the market and you're a little old lady and you're in a van and a nun's driving the van and a dude named Jason Smith runs into your van? Could it happen? Yes. Did it? Unfortunately, yes. Many years ago.
Ooh.
But that's not the norm. And so if those little old ladies worried every single day, that's just a waste of energy. But one time, it happened. But I tell people, I go, look, a meteor could kill you tomorrow. A bus could kill you tomorrow. Should you spend any amount of time worrying about it? That's going to happen? No. But do your shit correct and keep it straight. And then life should move on just nicely and keep on trucking. Yes. Nicole says, is an LLC required in all states? Is it required in any states?
That, you know what, entity structure is a conversation to have with your CPA, but it is not required anywhere.
Yeah, it's not required. But life becomes a little bit easier. It's a little burden off you in case something happens, like Debbie said, with the repairs. But also, let me add this. If you do become an LLC, you have to have a name for it. I just gave, so my tax lawyer said, what do you want to call your LLC? So many years ago, guys I worked with at Tower Records called me Big Girl. So I would put on Spice Girls and things like that, and I paint my toes, and I have a candle closet organized by season. And so knowing all that, my one friend just said, you're just a big girl, aren't you? Because we would go to like Hillary Duff concerts at the height of Hillary Duff, and I go, I guess I am. And so when my tax lawyer said, what do you want to call it? I said, I don't know, Big Girl LLC. Cool. So we did it. Now, here's what I didn't expect. I didn't think about looking forward. The fun part of Big Girl LLC is when you're an LLC, you get on the phone calls of all the credit card companies because they think you own a brick and mortar and you need a credit card terminal. So what they do is they call for the company name. So when I answer the phone, someone goes, hi, is Big Girl there? And then I make it a little bit lower and I go, yeah, this is. And they're just working down a list and they didn't think about what was going to happen when this replied to Big Girl and they get really quiet. They don't know what to do. Now, here's where it was a little bit detrimental. I'm looking for a new assistant. I used a website called Indeed. Becky Dick turned me on to it. Thank you, Becky. I love you because I think I have the perfect assistant start tomorrow. Yay. But I did it under my business name. And so a lot of people think I'm selling Big Girl lingerie. And so maybe not that apt to answer the ad if that's not what they want to sell. I'm like, oh no, I sell music, tiki mugs, and used jeans. So think about what your name's going to be because it might be ridiculous down the road.
But we all love you for it.
I still like it. It makes me laugh because of those situations, but it does make situations that if I had something normal-ish, it wouldn't make. How do you count for selling items you own personally? So let's say you bought a pair of jeans in 2017. You gained a few pounds during COVID, and now you want to sell those jeans. And kind of like what those people talked about in that group, you bought the jeans for $50, you let them go for $12. What do you do, Anna?
Well, I'm not going to get too much into the weeds, but inventory is valued at lower of cost or market. So if you spent $10 on the jeans and you sold them for $50, that's a $40 profit, right? But who has the receipt? Nobody has the receipt. So it is up to you as a reseller to work with your CPA to decide, am I going to pay taxes on $50 or $40? Does that make sense?
Yep. It goes because not everything you're selling is your old personal items. Because some of that stuff works in too. I've gained some LBs over COVID and I got a bunch of shorts. I'm like, time to sell them. But most of them end up coming from savers. They're probably on a receipt somewhere anyway. So I'm just like, cool. It's all part of the business for me. Mm-hmm. Do you need a different lawyer for your business stuff rather than just your will trust lawyer? I'll say, yeah. You want a business lawyer to do the business stuff and you want the will and trust lawyer to do the will and trust stuff.
Right. It's like we were talking about before. A doctor, you have a heart problem. Do you go to knee doctor? No, you go to a heart doctor.
Exactly. Okay. So real quick on the van story, since everyone's like, what's the rest of that story? So I was working for Varsity Spirit Fashions. For those you don't know, I used to size cheerleaders for their uniforms. And yes, I quit that job.
I did not know that about you. Are you serious?
You didn't know that?
No, how did I not know that?
So my mom worked for the company for a lot of years, and then I was kind of between jobs, and she needed help because her territory was huge. So I started taking like half her appointments, and then they broke her territory up into a couple territories, and they just hired me straight on because I had been doing it. And so for like 5 years, I traveled Ohio sizing cheerleaders for their uniforms.
And let me guess, you focused on the top. You're like, I'll be the top.
Everyone thinks it's like, ooh, fun. Let me tell you, I had no pro teams, about 6 different decent college teams, and the rest are like 12-year-olds who haven't discovered deodorant yet, okay? So it was not nearly a glamorous job as people think. But I'm on a cold, snow, ice-covered roads day in Toledo, and I'm going to a city to a school in the city of Toledo, and like every third intersection is a stop sign. So it wasn't uniform all the way through. So there's a truck, a semi, unloading food into a bodega on the corner. And as I come around the semi, I'm like, oh shit, this one's one of the ones where I have a stop sign, hit my brakes, slide into the intersection, and hit a van full of little old ladies being driven by a nun on their way to the market.
Oh, no.
But I will tell you, it cured me of a nasty habit. So if you're eating food right now, put your fork down. I used to chew tobacco. And when you chew tobacco, you got to spit somewhere. So when you're driving, you just spit in your spit cup. Well, my spit cup was about this big because I was in the car for 3 hours. It was full. And so when I hit a van, all that spit liquid went up and then rained down on me. So not only is it freezing cold, not only have I hit a bunch of old ladies, I'm now covered in tobacco spit. And I'm like, and that was the last day I ever chewed. That cured me of chewing tobacco.
So glad you didn't get it on the nuns.
So what I'm saying is go run into some little old ladies, and then you'll be done with your tobacco habit. All right. So Debbie has a receipt from 2017. What can she do with it in 2022?
Yeah, I mean, if that's the receipt of what you paid for the item and you still haven't sold it many years later, that's the proof of what you paid.
Kind of like my old listings that are still 2017. I have the receipts for them, but I haven't sold them yet.
Oh, everyone loves the story. They like this better than taxes.
Yeah, it was I'm a country boy. We all had a can of Skull in our back pocket, and that just
Do you have like the jeans with like the circle that had like the
I didn't like sitting on it, so I don't even understand the guys who always had in their back pocket so much that it got the ring, because I'm like, that's uncomfortable. I kept it in my front pocket.
Big girls keep it in.
Yeah, so driving intervention to stop chewing. Yep, I mean, and that was 1996, and I haven't chewed since that day.
Oh, thank goodness. I can't stand to see that big blob right there. I follow a YouTuber, and it's always there, and I think, ugh.
Yeah, so let's talk about something fun real quick before we wrap up here. Anna is a world traveler, and Stacy and I have been lucky enough to end up in Europe with Anna and her husband at the same time, and we had a blast. And now that the world's kind of getting back to normal, we're getting COVID under control. I said, Anna, we need to go do Europe again, because that first taste was like, I have to get back here. I had so much fun in Europe, and it was so much fun to be with friends from the United States in Europe and having those experiences together. Even though Stacy and I would have a great time by ourselves, it was fun to be with friends and do things and take tours and just do nerdy stuff too. It was a great fun. So before we do that, what's next on your agenda of fun and shenanigans?
Oh gosh. Well, I just want to, before I talk about fun and shenanigans, I want to second what you said. It was so fun, and kind of on a personal, vulnerable note, when you agree to meet another couple somewhere to travel together, it's a little bit of a risk. And we are all like, we'll try it. And we had the best time. It wasn't weird. It was fun. It just was an incredible experience. We did together stuff. We did separate stuff. It was so fun. So I'm grateful for you and Stacy. Michael and I had the best time. And, I was a little bit left out when people were doing movie quotes on the train in France. And I'm like, I don't know any of these things. I'm going to read my book. But it just kind of worked.
So do you travel with your CPA?
That tells you the awesomeness of me. And some other time we have to tell the story of Stacy's infamous cop knock on our hotel door when Michael was back time.
That sounds good.
I tell you what, if anyone wants anything to run like a well-oiled machine, they need our Stacy. She's awesome. So to answer your question, the last trip we took, we saw Husha Moore, bookseller extraordinaire. We went to visit her and her wife, Lana, in North Carolina in July or August. And then in June, we went to Cape Cod. That was a lot of fun. I'd never been to that beautiful part of the world. We did Boston. And then in December, Michael and I are going to Charleston just for like a long, long weekend, sort of a fun, we picked a really cool hotel in the downtown area. And we're going to walk around and eat seafood and just have a really good time right before Christmas. So that's what we have going on.
And then Stacy, my mom, and I will see you in Atlanta in January. And so I'll be having a class if you're anywhere near the Atlanta area. And I'm also in town because I'm speaking at a Tiki event that weekend. So mom's coming, going to hang out with Anna. And then we're going to teach mom and I think it'll be our first class where we're on the road somewhere and mom's part of teaching the class. So
fun.
I will have all that information up in the next month in December.
Yes, that's going to be a great time. I look forward to seeing everyone, and it's going to be very cool.
There's Stacy giving you a heart.
There's my pretty.
Yep, my mom's all excited to come down and see you too. So thank you, Anna. If you don't have a tax professional yet and you're working towards being, if this is your sole job, you should be the most professional you can be and the most kick-ass you can be and keeping all your shit straight. Pay someone to do it. I'll end on this. So I moved into this house here in Vegas and it came with a pool. And I was talking to a friend back home and he was on the phone when the old pool guy came in and said, oh, they forgot to tell me they left. And I said to my buddy, Brian, I go, should I hire this guy or should I clean my own pool? And in that brief moment, he goes, do you want to clean your own pool? I said, you're right. Hey, you're hired, buddy. Yeah. There's a point in life where you should, if you can, hire somebody to do, and I don't mean to demean Anna, but the grunt work. It's not my skill set to do my taxes. It really isn't. So I might as well find the person who can do it. It ain't my skill set to clean my pool. And it's not my skill set to make yummy tacos, but Taco Bell does. So, you go where the skill set is, and that makes for a much easier life.
Well, and it kind of goes both ways because my skill set is not finding amazing Tiki items. So I can just go to you and spend my money and say, I want the thing. Exactly. And so it's all about making sure that your business meets your personal financial goals. Is your goal to spend a lot of time on your accounting, or is your goal to hire someone to do it? And maybe at first you need to do it yourself, but think about what you want for the long term. And it really is important that you think about how you define success, flexibility, time off, meeting goals financially, all of those really cool things. And that's why I love talking about this. It can really change lives when you take the time to get organized and do things right so you can focus on what your superpower is. I know mine, Jason knows his. We all know our superpower. Focus on that.
And it helps you sleep better at night too. When you don't have to worry about these things, you have someone you trust. You sleep better at night because you're not worried. Everything's going well, and you're learning more about all of this from her, asking you, I need this, and you're seeing your paperwork and things. So it's a great thing.
Yeah, Dad. Pre-Anna, the beginning of each new year, I'm like, oh, good Lord. I gotta get all this stuff together. I know I'm gonna forget things. I got to figure all this out. It was just chaos. But yeah, Tom says you hire people better than you at other things. And then Mark got to the really the important part. Did you say Taco Bell?
I love it.
All right. So when you need a professional, whether it be a doctor, a lawyer, a CPA, and you're at that point where you need one, go get one. Don't try and wing it yourself. because although it feels painful to write the check every month or quarter, when you get to the point where I get to the point of handing my tax preparer Anna's put together package, I don't got to do nothing. And at that moment, it's all worth it, because life is, like Debbie said, I sleep well at night.
Yes.
And I just want to put in a plug for Anna. I'm not using her yet, but this takes a lot of that stress off. Where do I go? Do I go interview 10 CPAs or whatever in my city? And a lot of them don't understand e-commerce. Mine didn't really. And so having somebody that understands what we're doing, I mean, she's good enough for Jason. She's good enough for all of us too.
Hey, wait.
Good enough for big girl, big enough for everyone.
Yes.
Well, I appreciate everyone's time tonight. And the important thing is, don't judge where you are. Just figure out, this is where I am. This is my pain point, and this is where I'm going. It's very important. Don't stress about the IRS changes. It's really no different. And if you are in a bind and have a situation, there are answers.
And the new threshold takes effect next year.
Yes.
Okay, not 2021 taxes. It'll be for 2022 taxes.
Right.
So we
So,
will file in 2023.
right. Look out, Facebook. The complaints are coming.
Yeah. But please, everybody take this and absorb it. Do not get professional advice from strangers on Facebook. Now, you might say, but Jay, I get advice from you on how to be a reseller. Yeah, I'm not a stranger, or at least I shouldn't be, with all my shows and being on TV and my groups. And you know who I am. I'm not hiding behind a cute little bunny avatar. You know who I am. You know where to find me. I've proved myself over and over again that I am an expert at thrifting and reselling. And so, but if you just some rando dude says, no, here's what you do, you don't know that dude. You don't. So please do not take professional advice from strangers. Don't. It will be painful in the end.
Anna, you don't have to go find somebody local. Anna can do all of us in all 50 states, correct?
Ooh, that sounded dirty. Anna could do all of us.
Anna does the USA.
Yeah. I do not do taxes, and I'm not here trying to, peddle tax services. But if you're looking for someone and you need tax help, you can ask people at your church. You can ask if you are shopping in local businesses that have inventory, like a pet supply store, something like that. Ask them, who do you use to do your taxes? So ask your Chamber of Commerce. You can contact your state Society of CPAs and say, I need a CPA who does taxes in an inventory-based business, and they'll give you a list of suggestions. There's a lot of ways that you can figure it out. But those are just some hints.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you all for tuning in. Like I said, if you tuned in on Thursday looking for the live show, you'll find the pre-recorded show because it's already done. So if you're one of those people, we call Dionne Warwick for tax advice.
Oh, boy. Yeah. No, don't do that.
If you have any questions after the fact that we did not answer in this last hour, drop them down below, and Ann and I will pop in together and check them out this weekend. So Mom and I will be there on Sunday. Seeker Beach, Debbie, her hubby, and her brother will be there on Saturday, and then no shows next weekend because it's a holiday. So let me tell you this, if I don't see you till after the holiday, have a great holiday, but be ready to buy things to resell because of Black Friday sales, Cyber Monday sales, but also have your own sale, excite people about buying from you, and let's all of us have a kick-ass last 6 weeks of the year.
And Anna, what's the name of your Facebook group again?
AccountingWeWillGo.com. Yes.
So join that group. It's free.
Enjoy the Nerd Fest. It's free.
Yeah. Sign up. And that's it. Thank you all. Have a wonderful evening. And we'll see you on Sunday. Ta-ta. Thanks, Anna. And good to see you, Deb.
Bye, guys. Thank you. Good to see you, Debbie. Bye, Jason.
Bye-bye.